To you an article from May 31st of the Spokesman Review on specifically the Spokane Veterans Affairs facility here and how they've operated. The key question and the key statements from all the veterans is a number of wait times. We're waiting too long. We can't get the care we need in the timeliness that we needed. That's a key issue for the veterans that have fought for this country.
That is, and that is a commitment that we make, and every person in this country wants the veteran, the person who signed up, volunteered to protect this country, to get the care that they need. And when a veteran walks through the doors of the VA, they should be welcomed and they should be asked, how can we help you? It shouldn't be something where the veteran feels like they are a burden somehow on the system. So when I look at where we find ourselves right now, we need to be looking both at the structural issues within the VA as well as the cultural issues within the VA, and really addressing the way that we are meeting the needs of our veterans. For years I have been pushing the Spokane VA to have contracts with local providers, especially in the rural parts of this area. And I've been pleased that the Spokane VA has entered into contracts with Colville and Republic and Tenasket so that veterans in those areas don't always have to travel to the Spokane VA. That makes sense to me that they would go to a local provider. But I continue to hear veterans that have to wait too long, or they are asked to travel to Seattle, Portland, Boise for some of these appointments. So we need to investigate, we need to better understand exactly what's going on in each one of these VA hospitals, but we also need to be moving ahead to give veterans the care that they need. And that's why I support allowing veterans, if they've been waiting more than 30 days, go into the local community. And if you can find a provider, go get the care that you need.
I know you're sponsoring a bill to direct them that way, to be able to get a private consultation in a medical facility. From that article in the Spokesman Review, it said, as the VA scandal grows outward from Phoenix, ripples keep appearing here in Spokane. The agency inspector general released an initial report that said it was reviewing 42 VA facilities nationwide. It did not specify Spokane was one of them, but an IG team did visit the hospital here recently. What do you want to see come out of that investigation?
Well, it's important that we better understand exactly what the concerns are and what kind of, what exactly is happening. How long does it take to get an appointment? Do they have the providers that they need? Why aren't they able to recruit some of these positions? We need to get those questions answered so that we can take the steps to make sure that the VA is providing the care moving forward. But I also think we need to really think about what is the role of the VA, and the VA does have an important role. But in my mind, the VA needs to be focused on really being the best on health care issues that are unique to our veterans. The mental health. We know that 35% of our veterans returning from Afghanistan, Iraq are going to have some kind of post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injury. They're going to need some care, and we're still even learning what the needs are going to be. So we need to be, that's where the VA needs to be focusing on, is really being the best as far as those unique needs that our veterans have. And if it's care that they can get in the community, let's embrace that too.
Yeah, I mean,
give the veteran the choice.
A lot of people that we've heard from say it's simply appalling that these veterans have to wait that long to get some relief, some care, some support, that safety net under them. That's on a national level. The opinion piece you wrote, I pulled it up, read it off of CNN.com, and the headline is, "A broken VA is abandoning our veterans." If you can elaborate that on, when you say broken, is that nationwide? Is that pick and choose the geographical location?
Well, I think across the country we're seeing that the VA is not meeting the needs of our veterans time and time again. And the story is repeated. On Memorial Day, I had talked to a mom from Eastern Washington who had two sons who had served in Iraq and Afghanistan. And when they returned, they weren't the same young men that she had sent, and they needed some help. And the VA is not meeting their needs. And unfortunately, we hear that story repeated over and over. So we need to have the best VA in the world, the best healthcare system to meet their needs, and it's clearly not where it needs to be.
I know you personally have been in communication with the leaders of the local Veterans Affairs Medical Center. What are they doing right in your view right now, and what are the weak links that need to be strengthened?
Well, when you look at the VA right now, I often hear that when you do see a doctor, or when you see a mental health provider, that they're really good, and so we have good healthcare providers. It is more the challenge getting access to them. The VA, part of it is primary care, part of it is the specialty care, and then part of it is mental health. And I think that we need to make sure that the VA that they have the facilities and the people. We need to be doing a better job of attracting. We're having trouble recruiting mental health providers, for example. We need more and better mental health providers. Some of the specialty care is very difficult to access, and so they're being asked to travel. But yesterday I heard that a veteran had to travel from Spokane to Walla Walla for a hearing test. That doesn't make any sense to me.
That needs to be remedied.
That's where the bureaucracy is just making it more difficult than it needs to be.
Right. All right. And a couple of the highlights from your opinion editorial. You just basically call it unacceptable and inexcusable.
It is.
Also, nearly 30% of veterans return from war with some type of service-related disability.
That's
and
right.
that leads then to the transition piece and the care that they need.
That's right. And that's why we got to get this right. And the fact that we're hearing that these hospitals are not accessible, that the waiting lists are too long. It's unacceptable at a time when we have veterans with very serious needs, and as a country, how we show our gratitude is the way that we meet their needs upon their return.
Well, very